It was good, YouTube. Before I get started, please like, share, subscribe. I want to talk about being famous or fame, the blessing and the curse of fame. Why I'm not famous, why I have not, or I think maybe why I'm not famous. And let's talk about it. Like, share, subscribe. So we're gonna jump right into it. I want the whole basis of this video will be off the cold line. A lot of brothers getting older, but they never grow up. That's off the song Enchanted. That he did. Where he did the Tupac hook for Hail Mary as the hook for that song. A phenomenal song. If you never listened to it, go listen to it. And to me, J. Cole whole career has been chasing after the fame and then seeing that the fame ain't what it's supposed to be. The money, the cars, the clothes, everything has not brought complete satisfaction for him. So I want to talk about it. I didn't say rich and famous because I'm already rich. I think wealth is not a curse. I think wealth becomes a curse when it controls you. Greed is a curse. Greed is a disease. When you become greedy, that's when wealth becomes a problem. Money becomes a problem. But wealth is never a problem. I believe I'm rich in spirit, rich in mind, rich in consciousness, rich in melanin. And I believe I'll be financially rich one day. That's why I promote entrepreneurship. I promote us buying in within our own communities, making each other successful. So that is very close down the road for me. Even if I don't see it right now, I believe in my whole mind and spirit that I will constantly reinvent myself until one day I will hit and figure out, not by chance, but by studying, hard work, and dedication, figuring out a way to not only bring about great change, but even bring about great change in my own life. That's not being selfish. That's a great dream to want. That's something to accomplish. That's why even in the conscious community, or even in just black people period, we have to figure out a perfect balance. But we can still have ambition and still be conscious at the same time. Don't get it wrong. You just can't let ourselves sell out for that ambition. That's what I'm trying to say. Man, let me say that again. We just cannot sell out to get the ambition or the dreams that we want. But let's jump right into it. Famous. And like say again, Cole talked about fame. Let's talk about what appreciation. If that's what you're chasing, is the ultimate everything is what you're chasing, you'll be chasing it forever. You can get up with appreciation, like he said, a homeless man can get up and like, man, I got my limbs. Man just gave me $1. That I can be happy about. This morning, what happened to me? Not this morning, but around lunchtime when I went on my lunch break, I went and got some chicken nuggets. Instead of getting the 10 count or the 8 or the 4 count or whatever it's supposed to be, I'm getting like a 20 count. Maybe it was because I smiled and I was pleasant with the young lady in the drive. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just personal favor. But I got that and I said, man, I'm appreciative because she didn't have to do that. And that's the basis of being appreciative of even the small things. I was driving back and I caught all green lights. That's being appreciative because like, man, I just saved 20 minutes not having to be stuck in traffic. And the traffic was flowing pretty well. I mean, not great, but it was flowing pretty well. I can be appreciative of the small things and my life will go so much better when I'm appreciative of every single blessing and every single chance or every single basis of favor that I get. But if you're chasing the ultimate all the time, you'll never be happy. Let me give you an example. I said a lot of brothers getting older, but they never grow up. Kendrick said it best inside the song "These Walls," or you can go even listen to the song he made Untitled, where he said, what did the Asian say? A piece of mind. And then he said, what did the Indian say? A piece of land. And then he said the black man. And even though he kind of took it as a negative end of it, he was just showing what can happen when you chase after one specific thing. So if okay, let's look at it like this. Okay, a hormonal teenager, like everybody, like when you're going through puberty, there's no shame in that. Like all you probably gonna be thinking about is like girls or like females or whatever. There's no problem. I wouldn't say there's no problem. Don't let it control you, but at the same time, it's a part of growing up. It's a part of manhood. So that may be all you think about. Like at 15, 16, that's like all you think about, other than the occasional wanting cars and clothes and so forth. But you keep chasing that forever. So fame or the basis of you become content with the chase, or you come content with just being a player. You come content with just having a whole bunch of numbers, or like the pickup game you see on YouTube. Like the video get millions of subscribers that people want to see other people like get picked up. You see what I'm saying? So if that's the basis, you'll be content with that. Or if you're content with the chase, you'll be chasing forever. You look at cars and clothes. Adrian Broner said at the boxing match, and people were laughing at him, making memes about it, and just laughing at it. He said it was cornflakes and water. He said, I only had cornflakes and water. Well, Adrian Broner enjoys money. So I look at it, even take it, I don't even fault the brother. I look at it more of a psychological standpoint. If you grew up in poverty or you grew up in a certain way, then you live a lifestyle that you never had before. You can buy a car, you can go buy the clothes that you want. You know, how the lights ain't getting cut off. J. Cole, any rapper has a lot of rappers that talked about how they ain't had no heat in the winter, no air in the summertime. If that, psychologically you can take it from that standpoint, but if that is what drives you, don't become content with it, because the moment you become content with it, the fame or the basis of wanting that will crush you, or it will bound you, and it will take control over you, and money will be the only thing that you can think of. Does that make sense? So you will see the world from a capitalistic standpoint and nothing else. And you won't care about the people in your community that's hurting. You won't care about the little brother who probably inside the same situation as you, because you're only thinking for self. You only see yourself. Fame is a blessing and a curse. Having the things that you want is a blessing but at the same time, you cannot let it consume you and control you. If you come into the mindset that no matter what happens, I can appreciate the small things in life, I can still help others, but I can still enjoy myself, that is how you find perfect blend of harmony. And you won't go crazy. Because all the artists are either going broke or either going crazy because they mismanage their funds or they mismanage their life. Let me say that again. Most rappers go broke, whether that be physically, mentally, financially, because they overspent and they misused their funds and their spiritual energy. I believe it was Frederick Douglass who said it's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Or I may be saying that a little bit, I may be paraphrasing a little bit, but it is of the same lines as that quote, that if you are built on a broken foundation, or you chase the things that bring no true satisfaction, you will find yourself going down a downward spiral. And the things that you want will fizz out. And you will constantly be looking for that next high, whatever that next high point is. And every time you get it, you'll never obtain it. So you go chasing, and you go deeper and deeper and deeper into a dark place. Whether that's physical drugs or the drug or the thing that's controlling you. So like I said again, that's cool. But if you don't grow up from that and see life from just that, you'll be chasing forever and you'll never mature. You'll never understand the basis of having a family. You'll never understand the family structure. You'll break hearts forever. And that will make other people miserable. And if you can't understand or have any sympathy for another person's misery or struggle, then you must find within yourself the completeness. So even before you even go on this journey, if you have no sympathy for the next person, a beautiful black queen or whoever it may be, or just a person who is like you and they want to be like you, and you don't have no time or day to even sign no autograph form, then you need to go recapture your mindset. So I say all these things is you will go down a down spiral and you'll make other people miserable. So if it's girls, but if it's fame, but not wanting the responsibility that fame brings, I should say, when I'm trying to say the second example. Then third, if the cars and clothes are the thing you want, you'll be chasing them forever. That's what you will want. That will be your ultimate goal in life. I didn't understand what the Bible was saying, how you can't get into heaven as a rich man, but I understand because you can be content with your riches at the same time harming and hurting other people, or not being responsible with other people. So like I said, I just wanted to make this video talking about fame and maybe why I'm not famous, because knowing me, if I had went down this road, I'm blessed to live the life that I have lived, to be able to read the books that I read, to be able to come across the experience and the mentors that I had. Because if I had found fame too early, around 14, 15, 16, like with girls and being the richest person in the world and whatever may have been my intention at the earliest stage of puberty, or even right now, if I had not grown and matured, because there's a difference between puberty, between the journey of manhood, and maturity. Puberty ends at a certain age. Your hormones and your DNA last forever. They just decrease as you get older. Maturity is a mindset. So you can be 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old, 5 years old quoting Martin Luther King because you're mature, while everybody else is playing Barney. You can be 10 years old and want to save the world and want to feed the homeless because you're mature and you don't see it just as me. What kind of gifts am I getting for Christmas? I remember I saw a Christmas special where the kids gave away their, I think it was like Deal Hughley Christmas special where the kids gave away their presents because they were mature enough to see I'm blessed every single day. Let me try to help somebody else. At 15 years old, I don't know how I could have handled the pressure of being a superstar or having the fame or being Instagram famous where the people want to chase you and follow you and all that kind of mess. And it's like the reverse sliding in the DMs, so I guess the guy version or whatever you want to call it. I would not handle it because I would have been perfectly content with having, I guess girls at a chasing girl or having cars, or I guess not even being old enough to drive, but having money. I would have been content with that. And I grew up thinking that that was the basis of being important because I talked about maturity, I talked about puberty, but I did not talk about yet the journey of manhood. The journey of manhood is a continuous state. But if you do not go through puberty of the mind, which is maturity. Let me say that again. If you do not go through puberty of the mind, which is maturity, because puberty is nothing but growing up and then coming back down, or just growing up until you become a man. Because even though your that testosterone levels decrease, you do not never go away from being a man. You after you raised from being a child, you're a man, and that continued mind frame stays forever. People say twice a child, once an adult, and I don't believe that. I believe that if you continue to have an adult mindset, you cannot revert or go back because that is digressing. But that's from a spiritual level, not a physical level. But we can talk about old people in nursing homes and stuff a little bit later. But maturity is puberty of the mindset. It's puberty of the mind. It's puberty of man. It's maturity for a man is puberty because we grow up and understand the journey of manhood better. So at 15, or even if you have a teenage mindset where, let me go play, let me go to the club, let me go drive 120 miles an hour, and driving drunk, that's immature. So you have not matured as a man yet. Everybody makes mistakes, but not those kind of mistakes that we're putting other people in danger and even putting ourselves in danger. We learn from our mistakes, but not making those kind of complete foolish baffles. Does that make sense? So you may be perfectly content with that because your mind has not matured. You have not gone through puberty of the mind, or if or every time that it's arisen, as the seasons change, you change. As the seasons change, puberty may be arising, but you keep pushing it back and resisting it. You will never grow up and you'll never mature. So people who are famous may be living in that level. The Never Never Land syndrome of the particular area, and Peter Pan, period. How maybe you didn't have a good childhood, or maybe your childhood got ruined. So you chase after those childlike things, but from an adult perspective, which might be how most people say that their cars. They call their cars. I got a couple of toys. They're not toys. If you pay you pay $300,000 for something, automobile, and not saying enjoy the fruits of your labor. I'm just being honest. But if you pay it and you go broke, or you pay it and you haven't bought yourself a house yet, how Kanye said inside the song, and even J. Cole said inside the song, they bought a chain before they even bought their own property, even own their own land. That is immaturity. It's not a toy. You're a grown man. You can't play with toys unless you got a child, and you're playing out of fun or out of just father-son bonding. But you can't play with a toy because you're a grown man. You don't. The Bible says this, and not saying I'm just a big Bible thumper, but I think we can learn great lessons out of any particular literature, in the basis that it said when I was a child or when I was a boy, I played with childlike things. But when I became an adult, I became a man. I put away childish things. There's a season for everything. It speaks to that in the Bible. And what I mean by that is, I mean I believe in God, but I mean, how can I put it? I'm not saying that I'm just so much better or holier than thou. Let's put it like that. That people always be trying to get on me or say something. I mean, I'm not holier than thou on that basis. I'm just like everybody else. I have to go to judgment day like everybody else, and God will weigh my sins and say what I did wrong, just like anybody else. I'm not saying I'm holier than thou, even as I make these videos. But as I'm being mature and as I'm growing, I'm trying to show you, I'm trying to reach and show the next person so their journey of manhood is not so hard as mine was. Mine was hard because I didn't understand certain things. I had to follow my head. So that's why I say you have a right to make mistakes. You just can't have foolish battles. But going back to the cars, a few toys because you're not a toy. I mean, you can't play with toys. You're a grown man, so you have to have a maturity. But I think that's it, though. I just really wanted to talk about that video, and I guess it wasn't about fame. It was just about fame and being content with life, and showing how fame is a blessing and a curse. In story time, while I'm not famous, because I believe personally in my mindset, if I had been exposed to fame and had gotten all my necessities taken care of and had not gotten the lessons in life, or how can I put this, had gotten everything I wanted with a snap of my fingers. A movie called Richard Pryor. Actually, funny, it's called The Toy, where the little boy had bought so many things and had an overabundance of things. He was trying to mask his um he was trying to mask his sorrows. He was trying to mask his heartbreak. He was trying to mask his longing for a relationship with his father by buying all these things. And he bought a toy, which was a friend. So I personally believe that if I had achieved the fame, I would be content with that. That I will grow in one area but not grow in the next. That if I had not properly gone through the journey of manhood, that I would be sitting up here uh, making myself not a man and not coming to accord it. It's one thing for somebody to emasculate you or try to emasculate you our oppressors and the media has been doing forever, but it's another thing where we put ourselves in a situation of not grown and matured ourselves. That's even bad as the first or as the latter, excuse me, not ladder, but latter, which is the second one. So I just wanted to make that video really quickly, talking about maybe why I'm not famous and the lessons that I learned from it. But I learned that if I had got anything too early, or if I had, and not even that, because if you get rich or get the blessing, don't look at it as a curse. But I think that if I had been not taught anything else, had been exposed to grown like situations, but not been taught how to be like that or learn how to be a man, then I would be perfectly content with the women, cars, and clothes, the gold chains. I'd be content with that. I wouldn't want any more for myself, and I could care less about what anybody else has because it would be about me. Because I have not matured in the mind and seen that when everybody's happy, when everybody's working well, when everybody's making money, when everybody's loving one another, it works better, even for me. Snoop Dogg said he sets all his family members up with gigs because he said, I don't want y'all taking my money. And it's funny, he said that, but I look at that from the same basis. I want to set everybody up. I hope everybody succeeds because I don't want us out here going against one another. And money is the root of all evil, but money is also the root of all blessings. You cannot fund a mentorship program without money. So money is good or bad, just depends on how you use it. I think I don't know that I canceled the video, but I talked about wealth. I said wealth is a good thing. You just have to be mature enough to understand how to use it. But again, that's my video. I keep saying I'm going to end it, but I keep coming back and rattling out. Maybe just gonna call this a rant or whatever you want to hear. But I just really wanted to make this video. Hopefully that'll bless your life. And tell you not to be content with the small things in life. To be content with the materialistic things in life. Not to be content with a capitalistic society. But understand to enjoy your wealth. Enjoy your wealth in spirit and mind and health and everything. And appreciate the small things. And never let money or fame or any person in your life substitute that for the journey of manhood, because you must go through that, and you must go through puberty and maturity of the mind. But this is the Brown Brother coming to you with another video. Please like, share, subscribe, and as always, we are on to the next one.